Hey everyone, welcome to Virtue Healthcare. This is a strength workout designed to support those who like to run, regardless of the distance. We'll start with a mobility warm-up followed by 5 strength exercises that we'll circuit through twice. All you'll need is a band and a wall, so let's get started.
Let's start with a half kneeling mobility flow. We'll go through this 3 times on each side, holding each position for 5 to 10 seconds. Bring your weight over your front foot, keeping your heel on the floor. Shifting back over your back heel for a hamstring stretch. Coming up into the kneeling position, reaching overhead for a stretch down your side. Blocking your knee and rotating away for a stretch through pecs. Coming forward again, mobilizing that front ankle. Coming back, keeping your toe down for length through the front of your ankle. Reaching up, activating through glutes to open up the front of your hip. Rotating away, looking for a stretch in the groin on your front leg. Coming back into the foot, keeping your heel down, pressing your weight forward. Translating your sit bones back away from your front heel for that hamstring stretch. Keeping abdominals engaged as you reach overhead, tucking your ribs down. Rotating back, looking at your hand, looking to mobilize in rotation through the spine. Switching sides. Dynamic movement like this, with short holds, is great for warming up for any activity. Getting a short stretch through tissue and activation, working on stabilization, getting blood flow moving, and easing into your workout. Allowing yourself to breathe slowly, sinking deeper into each position than you did the last time. Holding gentle tension throughout the body to keep yourself stable throughout these movements. Keeping a neutral spine throughout, not flexing too much or extending, especially through the lumbar spine. Allowing yourself deeper again and one last time into each pose. Gently breathing and opening into rotation and coming back to neutral to finish off. Come to standing. We'll be working on a single leg hinge to hip flexion for 5 on each leg. Shift your weight to stand on a single leg. Key to success here will be moving slowly, so increase your control and maintain tension throughout the body. Start by hinging at your hip, sitting your hip back, keeping a micro bend in your standing knee. Keep your shoulders anchored down and away from your ears. This will help keep a neutral spine throughout. Create and keep tension in your core, lats, and your lifted leg. Hinge until you feel a stretch in your hamstring and glute, but before your spine begins to round. Then, slowly transition to the extending your hips, coming up tall, and raising your lifted knee up to your chest into hip flexion. Keep your eyes focused on a single spot. Breathe in and out with control, taking your time and moving purposefully. Grab a band that is anchored securely somewhere around chest height. We'll be working on staggered stance, alternating single arm rows for 10 repetitions per leg. Start with one leg in front of the other in a walking stance. Lift your back heel. 70% of your weight should be kept over your leading foot. Keep your hips extended by squeezing your glutes. Engage your core and focus on initiating each pull from your back, retracting your shoulders actively and depressing them down and away from your ears as you're working. Adjust the amount of tension on your band as needed by stepping closer to or further back. Inhale, exhale fluidly. This exercise will help us maintain good posture while we're running. Next is the staggered stance, Pall off press and rotation with a band for 5 per side. Set up perpendicular to your resistance with your outside leg in front in a staggered walking stance. Lift the heel of your back foot. Tuck your pelvis, engaging your abdominals, keeping the ribs hugged down. Hold the band with 2 hands. Press it forward, keeping your resistance in midline of your body. Anchor your shoulders down into your hips, away from your ears. Then rotate away from the band's attachment. Rotate by initiating with your abdominals and turning your shoulders and your head along with it, not just your arms. Control the return trip, not allowing the band to slingshot you back. Adjust the amount of tension on your band as needed by moving closer to or further away from the band's attachment. Setting your band aside, face a wall for extra range single leg calf raises. We'll be completing 10 repetitions per leg, 5 with a straight leg and 5 with a bent knee. Set up in an angled plank on the wall. Lift one leg into max hip flexion and maintain that as you work on your standing leg. With a straight standing leg, keep your glute squeezed and your knee extended. Press up to your toes with most of your weight in your big toe, then allow your heel to slowly come back down all the way to the floor under control, lengthening the calf and encouraging ankle range of motion. After 5 reps like that, on the same side, bend your standing knee slightly and do another 5. You'll feel the first 5 with a straight leg further up the calves in the muscle gastrocnemius, and the second set with a bent knee a bit further down in the muscle soleus. Exhale to press up to your toes and inhale to lower down. Now turn your back to the wall for tibialis anterior raises. We'll be completing 10 repetitions. Sit your hips against the wall with your feet 3 feet from the wall. Hinge your torso forward from your hips with a neutral spine so you are looking down at your feet. You can rest your hands on your knees. Initiate active dorsiflexion, lifting your toes towards your shins as far as possible, coming onto your heels. Lower back down with control. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. It's important to strengthen these muscles to prevent shin splints and to help with toe lift through the swing phase of your gait. Coming back into position for single leg hinge to hip flexion. Again, we're doing 5 on each side. Keeping your toes pointing forward. Maintain core tension throughout. Keeping your spine neutral and hinging at the hip. Reach your moving leg out and behind you, not up towards the ceiling. We don't want to extend at the low back. Keep active tension in your hips and arms for stability. Move your arms in an opposite timing to your legs to counterbalance your movement and create cross-pattern tension from your lower body to your upper body. This will mimic running nicely. In the top position, squeeze your standing glute to promote extension at the hip. Most of your weight should be in the heel and midfoot of your standing leg. You shouldn't feel like you're gripping with your toes. Move slowly and with control and purpose. You will get more out of this exercise if you do. Grabbing your bands again for staggered stance, alternating single arm band rows for 10 repetitions per leg. Bring tension into your abdominals, tucking your ribs down and toward your hips, holding this tension throughout the exercise. Anchor your shoulders down and away from your ears. Initiate the pull from your back between your shoulder blades and into your hips, Activate through glutes to maintain stability and a neutral pelvis. Keep a neutral cervical spine, not allowing your head to translate forward as you work. Maintain steady breathing pattern, working with purpose. Now, back to the staggered stance, Pall off press and rotation. Again, 5 per side. Stepping away from the wall to create the resistance in your band to suit your capacity. You shouldn't be overly straining to make the rotation at the end position. Keep your hips parallel to the band throughout, not allowing them to rotate with your upper body. Engaging through your abdominals to support your lumbar spine. You should not feel this exercise in your low back. Keep your shoulder blades engaged into your back as you press your arms forward. Keep your arms straight as you rotate your shoulders, arms, and head as a single unit, away from the band's attachment. Make sure to control the band's tension as you return to neutral, not letting it pull you back. Breathing in as you bring the band toward your chest, and exhaling as you press and rotate away. Setting your band aside, one last time, move back to the wall for extra range single leg calf raises. 10 repetitions per leg, 5 with a straight leg and 5 with a bent knee. In the angle-walled plank position, press your palms gently into the wall throughout the exercise. Hold your flexed leg up towards your chest, not allowing your hip to drop. Squeezing the glute of the standing leg, press up to your big toe, bringing your foot into maximal plantar flexion. Then slowly lower your heel back to the floor into maximal dorsiflexion, switching to a bent knee after 5 repetitions. This exercise is amazing for ankle mobility and Achilles tendon strength, as well as posterior lower leg strength, both of which you will need out on your run. Turning your back to the wall will take you through Tibialis anterior raises one last time, looking for 10 repetitions. Sitting your hips back into the wall and stepping your feet out about 3 feet from the wall or to a distance that's comfortable for you. Hinge forward gently at your hips, keeping a neutral spine to rest your hands on your knees. Gently pull your toes up towards your shins as far as you can without overly straining. Then control the slow descent of your feet back down to the floor. Maintain core tension throughout to support yourself and dance your way out the door.
Thanks for joining our strength workout for runners. If you enjoyed it, we'd greatly appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up and feel free to share with family and friends. Join the Virtue community by subscribing to our channel where we post weekly videos. If you'd like to work with us in person, we have many virtual training offerings that you can read more about on our website linked in the description below. See you soon!